Hey YouTube, quick video. So some of you have been wondering about the 2025 regulation updates for e-bikes, and here's the news. Some of you might already know this, but I've been gone for 3 weeks, traveling the country, just camping and having a good time. I didn't take a bike, so didn't really have room for it with all the camping gear. Uh, So, the regulations have been done away with. Basically, Trump fired 3 of the commissioners on the Consumer Protection Agency that were aligned with the Democrats, and the 2 Republican left commissioners voted to not go forward with the regulations. So they're done. That's not to say that in the future, 4 years from now, they won't try again. There were some good things in there, but there was a lot of negative crap in there, trying to decide how fast an e-bike should go on for the country and not by state. They did keep the regulations on e-bike batteries did go through, so all batteries and bikes need to be UL listed. There's probably some old stock out there that they're still selling that will be non-UL batteries. But for the most part, UL listing has gone forward, and you guys will see that in the future, all bikes will be listing their products as UL listed. United Laboratories, who does independent testing of electronics, electrical mainly, but they do a little bit of everything. Another unit is TÜV. It's German's UL equivalent. So if it has a TÜV listing on it, TUV with it, it means that it has been tested and it meets the standards. So one of those, I'm sure there's other ones, but for America, for the most part, you're going to be looking for a UL listing on the battery. All my batteries, except for the electrics, are all UL listed. So I have 2 batteries for this bike, UL listed. And what it basically means is safe to charge inside a structure, whereas non-UL listed batteries, especially if you've fallen or the batteries have taken a really hard bump, they could be dangerous to charge in your house. I suggest that you charge them in outside a structure. So I don't know how to tell you to do it. Maybe plug them outside the house, maybe in a garage, clear of everything around it. So if they do catch fire, they're not going to burn your garage down. So again, the 2025 regulations that I reported earlier last year are gone, at least for 4 years. There won't be any future regulations because the commissioners thought it wasn't worth their time to go forward with any kind of regulation related to e-bikes. Now, it was a good thing because there's products out there that don't meet any regulation. They don't even meet bike regulations. I noticed in recent years they've done away with how they do crank arms. Now they're just drop forged instead of forged. Now, all aluminum requires a heat treat. If they weld the frame, it has to be reheat treated, and every product, a piece of aluminum, should be heat treated to give it the strength that you need. Now, if they just forge arm and don't heat treat it, the chances are that you're going to have a failure, which is one of the main issues that they were seeing with this with e-bikes, is the crank arms failing. Brakes, all that stuff was going to get tested. Now it's not. Now it's not required to. So if you're going to buy an e-bike, buy it from a reputable company like Trek. Electric's doing testing now. So is the big e-bike brand names. They're all doing the testing, so they know they're selling a product that's safe. If you have any questions about the regulations that are remaining, it's just, like I said, battery related. they're available on the Consumer Protection Agency's website for battery safety. So batteries are going to get better, safer, and the rest of the bike, well, we'll see how it all plays out. But those of you who were worried that you were going to have to buy a 15-mile-an-hour bike, you don't need to worry. The only thing that's regulated at 15.5 miles an hour are mobility devices. They're required by law not to go any faster than that. So if you have a three-wheel bike, it's more classified as mobility, so that's why they're limited to 15 or 16 miles an hour, just because they're considered a mobility device. And they're inherently unstable. In the right situation, you could tip over a three-wheel bike fairly easily. Another thing they don't do well is if all the weight's in the back of the bike and you take off and it's rear-wheel drive, it can do a wheelie fairly easy and dump you right off the back. So that's why they're limited in a lot of different ways, just by the fact that they're unsafe to operate fast or to have a lot of torque. So enough said. I'll get this posted. You guys can quit sweating about the e-bike regulations. They're no longer existent. They're gone until there's another 3 commissioners on that. The 2 that are aligned with the Republican Party said, nope, no future regulations. We don't need it. We don't want it. Government getting smaller. Have a great day.